Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Do you know why I'm standing in front of you now? Of course not, because I will let you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a little story of what I did yesterday. So, yesterday I saw a newspaper that our culture was claimed by another country. Isn't it very terrible for our country's development? Yes, of course, it's very terrible for our country's development. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this beautiful day, in this nice place, I'm going to deliver my speech with the title, The Preservation of Culture Education to Define Indonesian Dignity. Indonesia is a well-known country with its diversity of culture, language, and culinary. There are hundreds of even more ethnic groups that exist on the earth of Indonesia. This wraps ladder from a culture that differs one from another. It's true, Indonesian's culture is very rich. Yet, how many cultures we can mention from so many cultures Indonesia has? Perhaps the answer would be some that we can only count on finger. How are they? But that's the reality. We, the nation generation successor, still do not care about our own culture because we should preserve it. But why don't we actually care and just ignore it? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just telling you the shocking and heartbreaking fact about our teenagers, the future of our country, Indonesia. They tend to spend their time doing negative events, destructive deeds to themselves, rather than positive ones like learning and preserving our culture. Based on the result of the Kusuma Buana Institute study showed that there were 10.3% of 3,594 adults in 12 major cities of Indonesia had free sex already. Based on research in various major cities of Indonesia, approximately 20 to 30% of teens admitted to have free sex. This became possible because of the looseness of parents' control and supervision toward their children on sex needs. Sex expert and also obstetric gynecology specialist Dr. Burkidia Nugraha in Jakarta revealed from year to year, the adolescent data with free sex significantly increased from about 5% in 1980 to 20% in 2000. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. I just don't believe it. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this globalization era, Western culture very easily get into Indonesia. This culture is growing and developing rapidly in our country. We, as young people, prefer imitating this culture than our original culture. We feel more confident and feel more sociable if imitating the Western culture. Another case was the claim issue of our culture by Malaysia. Of course, we grow late to the neighboring country who falsely claim our culture, such as Ponorogo, Panda Dance, Batik, Sang and Song, etc. This is luck for all of us, especially the younger generation. We cannot necessarily blame Malaysia, who has claimed our culture. We, as a people of Indonesia, should be aware of our mistake. We must introspect ourselves. How many of us were previously concerned with the indigenous prior to an issue like this? For that, let us ponder in our heart, respectively, to contemplate what's going on with our young generation and what are we going to do to help? So, ladies and gentlemen, we, as let's brainstorm a bit, guys. Now, look, if the shadow puppet or wine flute is through one of our culture that we have, why we should feel embarrassed to watch it? If that batik is also part of our culture that we have, why we should feel embarrassed to wear it? It's supposed to do. We must be proud of our own culture because other nations feel jealous of what we have. However, why don't we, ladies and gentlemen, we must take care of our culture, the culture of Indonesia. We must be proud of our own culture. This is our culture, our country, our Indonesia. Now, the fate of Indonesia is in our hand. Provide the best for our nation, our country, to defend Indonesian dignity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all my speech. Unless I say, let's preserve our culture, be yourself, not others. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.